Week 3. For the warm-up, the pulse-raising activity is an agility course. So the participant should do some hurdles and then sprint in and out of the cones. So complete this circuit 5 times through, but each time they do the hurdles, they do a different style of jump on the hurdles. So the first time they do it, they'll do bunny hops. The second time they do it, they'll jump sideways. The third time they'll do it, they'll step over the hurdles. The fourth time they'll do it, they'll do fast feet between each hurdle. And then the fifth time they'll do it, they'll do a combination of bunny hops and fast feet in between each hurdle. The dynamic stretches are purely based around the leg area of my client. This is because on the Monday session, he'll be training on a bike, which isolates his leg muscles in particularly. And also for Thursday session, the plyometric and speed session is heavily based around the legs. So I picked 6 dynamic exercises that I think should prepare them fully for the exercise that they're about to do. The exercises should reduce injury risk as they focus on stretching the ligaments and tendons and keeping the muscles warm. I'd like the client to do 5 reps of each exercise on each leg. The exercises are walking lunges, walking hamstring stretches, heel flicks but then holding them every 3 that they do, high knees, and then once again holding them every 3 that they do, squats, and side leg stretches, so like side steps and then holding the stretch. To add a skill-based element to the warm-up, I'd like my client to step in and out over hurdles. Then at the end of the row of hurdles, kick a ball into a small goal that will be placed at the end of each set of hurdles. I'd like them to complete this 5 times at a high intensity, so 80 to 90% of their maximum heart rate. So this prepares my client for the exercise ahead, as their heart rate will be elevated to begin with, so therefore already oxygen is pumping around their body. For week 3, the cool down is I'd like them to spend 5 minutes on the exercise bike at the end of the session at an RPE of 4, so it's very light. And then I'd like them to do static stretching after this, especially in the leg area, as this week is predominantly based around using their leg muscles. So I'd like them to do 10 reps of lunges on each leg. Also, I'd like them to do 10 reps of the hamstring stretch. So this is where they lean back and lift their foot towards them and then sweep with their arms so that they touch the floor, and this should cause a stretch in the hamstring. Also, I'd like them to do 10 reps of a gastrocnemius stretch against the wall, so that's where they put one foot in front of the other and lean against the wall, and it should create a stretch in their calf. Also, a quadriceps stretch, I'd like them to do 10 reps on each leg again. So if they hold their leg and then bring it towards behind them, then they should feel a stretch down their quadricep. I've chosen this cool down because it adds variation, as I'm using the bike as a cool down method as well. The bike still allows the oxygen debt to be repaid, as the oxygenated blood is still circulating the body due to the heart still being elevated. So the body is able to repay this oxygen debt after exercise because of this. Also, the stretches allow the muscles and tendons and ligaments to stay pliable and not seize up, so could reduce injury risk the next time that they train. Like I said before, on a Thursday I'd like them to use a foam roller because this breaks down the lactic acid that they might build up on the Thursday session. For Monday's session, once again I have increased the duration of the training by 10%, but still kept the intensity at the same so that the body adapts to the increasing demand for oxygen. The gradual increase allows the body to not overtrain, which reduces the injury risk and exhaustion of my client. But this slight increase in duration still improves the client's VO2 max and their ability to keep contracting their muscles over and over again. I've changed the machine that my client does the aerobic training on so that they don't get bored and tedium doesn't set in. And they are still motivated to do the session because it's slightly different. I've chosen the bike as it isolates the leg muscles and purely focuses on increasing muscular endurance in the leg muscles. Therefore, this helps with my client's ability to keep contracting his muscles during the duration of a long football match. For Tuesday's session, it was a flexibility session, but I've taken Tuesday's session out, and the reason for this is because at 3 weeks I need to do fitness testing on my client to see where he has improved. And the reason for not completing the fitness testing on another day is because Tuesdays are normally low intensity, and I can replace the flexibility session with this fitness testing. As the client is still stretching in the warm-up and cool-down every session that they complete. I'll be using the yo-yo test, sit and reach test, vertical jump test, and 30-meter sprint test to see where my client has improved in those elements. On Thursday's session, I reduced the recovery time again by 5 seconds. This is because I still want to improve the ATP-PC energy system so that it recovers more quickly in order for my client to react quicker to a change in the game situation, but also so he has enough energy to respond to that change. I've also increased the reps of the exercises by 3. This allows progression and also to increase the thickness of the fast glycolytic muscle fibers so that they can generate more power. So that this enables my client to sprint faster because they have more power in their legs. The exercises are still sledge sprints across 5 meters and there and back counts as 2, and skater jumps. Once again, Friday's session consists of a 15-minute cycle ride, an RPE of 4 or 5 to reduce the effects of DOMS and the buildup of lactic acid so that the client's muscles don't get sore before their game on the Saturday.